Hi, my name is Samantha Nielsen, and I had the privilege to sit down recently with John Olsen, the Saline Area Chamber of Commerce's new executive director. John brings with him a passion for supporting businesses in our community, starting years ago when he gathered a group together to start the Downtown Merchants Association as a way to unite merchants and to engage the community in a variety of ways, including some of the events that we still have going on downtown, such as Ladies' Night Out and Summerfest. His passion continues today as he takes on this new leadership role and focuses his time on strengthening the businesses in our community, from the east side to the west side and everywhere in between. John is dedicated to strengthening our community. I'll be happy to let John explain more. Hi, thanks so much for joining us today. I'm here with John Olsen, the new executive director of our Saline Chamber. Thanks again so much for coming down this morning.
My pleasure.
I really appreciate it. I'm excited to talk with you about your new role in the chamber, but I'm also excited because you've had a long history with the chamber and with downtown Saline, right?
Yes.
So you had your own business in downtown Saline, which was?
We were Spotted Dog Winery.
That's right, and you guys were down there for?
We were downtown for probably about 7 years or so, 7, 8 years.
So a while, but you had your business for 12 years.
Yes, we moved out to the industrial park later to get into a bigger building.
And when did you start the Downtown Merchants Association? How did that evolve?
Well, that was within a year or two after we opened. Doreen McGuire, who had a shop called Serendipity, opened roughly about the same time I did. And you know, we were the two newbies in town. Everybody else had been there for years. And so we would, you know, she opened about an hour after or before I did. So I would go in and I would chat with her sometimes and we'd kind of commiserate. And we started doing that pretty regularly. And then we went over to Brecken Grill and started meeting with Paul, who was fairly new. And one fine day in the fall, we said, hey, you know, come January, let's invite everybody and see what happens. And so we invited everybody downtown to come, and we actually had a really good turnout, and the rest is kind of history. We turned it into a real organization at that point, and
it was business focused, right?
Mm-hmm.
You guys
Yep.
talked about different business issues and how to help out downtown and how to make the businesses stronger. Yeah.
Our motto was something's always happening in Saline, and that's what we tried to create with, you know, different events like Oktoberfest, and we participated in Summerfest when it came back downtown, and
Right.
Ladies' Nights Out, and sports cars to Saline, and you know, the music series stuff, and anything that we could think of to get involved with or bring downtown, we did, because we wanted people to always come down there and see Saline as a vibrant downtown, and then, you know, maybe say, gee, you know, let's go down to Saline. Something's always going on down there. So that's where it all started.
So you've had your heart in Saline then for a long time and working with the businesses and stuff. So, and then how did you start to get involved then with the chamber? Was that when you were a business owner?
Well, I've always felt it really important to, you know, the chamber is there to support the business community, and I always felt that it was important to be part of that. And so right away I joined the chamber. And then shortly thereafter, within a couple of years, I got on the board. I served on the board for 6 years. I was the president for one of those years. And then I continued to support them as a volunteer and whatnot, but kind of went away for a while from the actual board activities and stuff. And then last year they asked me to come back on the board. And so I ran for the board and got reelected. And then Art chose to retire. And they asked me if I would throw my hat into that ring, and I did, and here I am.
Fantastic. Well, I can see why they would ask you after being a part of the community, a part of the businesses, and a part of the chamber for so long. I think that seems like a great fit. So I guess I want to ask too, as a business owner, when you joined the chamber, how did you feel that joining the chamber helped your business for other people there?
Well, there's a couple of ways. In some ways it's directly, you know, we try and do things that you know, help an individual grow as well as their business grow through different lunch and learns and things like that. But there's also just the base, you know, I'm one voice as a business, and you know, I can go to a council meeting or a township meeting or whatever, and I'm one voice. When, as the chamber director, I can now go in and I'm 400 plus voices. And so we can go out and we can try and help the business community as a whole to 10 years from now be very successful. So it doesn't always ring your cash register today, but we want to make sure your cash register is still ringing 10 years from now. So we participate in so many things. You know, I go to a lot of the township meetings. I go to all the council meetings. We're on boards. We're on task force. We try and get involved in any way that we can to represent the business community throughout Saline, in the Saline area. It's not just Saline proper.
Right. So it provides a lot of strength and information too for the businesses that can't make it to all of those meetings. They can continue to stay informed and a part of the community and understand different resources that are there for them. So that's fantastic. This next year, there's going to be a lot of construction going on in downtown Saline. I think they're talking about
just a little bit.
Just a little. I think they're talking about tearing up Michigan Ave between April and September.
Probably, maybe even a little bit later than that. But,
Yeah. Okay.
You know, it's going to be a big event, but quite honestly, I can probably still come down during the construction and park and get to where I'm going free. By the way, easier than I can go to downtown Saline or downtown Ann Arbor. So, it's going to be a big deal, and we really want people to support the businesses down there, but we also want them to realize, like the British, keep calm and carry on. Come on down, support your businesses. They're going to need your help, but it's just a little road construction.
What I also think too that maybe not everybody is aware of, though I'm sure that you are acutely aware of, is that there's been planning and discussions and meetings and work plans put into place in order to try and make this a seamless transition as much as possible.
Yeah, there have been meetings going on in various facets for more than a year and a half. And there's a lot of people in the background doing a lot of things to make sure that this is as smooth as possible. The city's involved, the schools are involved, Main Street's involved, the chamber's involved, citizens are involved. I mean, there's all kinds of people doing as much as they can to make this the best possible situation that we can have.
And it's another exciting year for Saline because it's our 150th.
Yes.
So we've got some celebrations coming up for that. So there's definitely going to be plenty of reasons to still come to downtown Saline to support our businesses, which is critical to our community. It's critical to our unique and special downtown. And we want to continue to support them even during the construction.
And we thought this might actually work quite well because for the 150th, we're going to go back to a gravel road again.
Well, there you go. I hadn't thought about it like that, but I think that's a really good point. Right. We're not necessarily back to the horse-drawn carriages,
right.
but we're down to Michigan Ave and a gravel road. I think that's a good point. Before we wrap up, I want to find out if there's anything else that you would like to talk about too this morning, or if there's stuff that you want to mention. Maybe some upcoming chamber events. Oh, you know what? We could talk about the breakfast. What do you guys call the?
We call it the BBR. Building business relationships,
Right.
and it's an opportunity for people to come. We do it once a month. We have speakers there. We're also trying to expand. There's so many things I want to do. I'm in that situation where I hope I'm not trying to change too many things too fast and just overwhelming myself. But we want to bring some good quality speakers in. We want to make people available to help people grow as well as their businesses grow. We want to also change up some things. We're going to do the Saline Salutes a little bit different this year. We're looking at maybe a different location. We're looking at adding in maybe some military awards to that because we have so many service people who've served Saline in our country over the years. And, I just feel it's important to honor them and give them, the accolades that they deserve. So there are a lot of things like that we're trying to change up and do. And I want to get out and I want to see all the members, but there's like 400 of them, and it's like if I do 20 of them a week, do the math. I mean, it's a lot of people to go see.
Well, and then a great place for them to come and meet you too is at the breakfast morning meetings, and it gives you an opportunity for them also to meet other business members, to ask questions, to introduce themselves, introduce their businesses. I was just at the most recent breakfast, and I was really impressed and excited about the people that came and presented the changes at the evangelical home, the growth there. There was a lot learned there. It was really fantastic. I'm looking forward to going to future ones for sure.
Hopefully you got some good networking out of it, because that's a big purpose of it too, is to talk with the other people there and you know, be able to spread the knowledge of your own business.
Yeah, and what I thought was really fun too was there'd been people that I'd spoken with on the telephone or that I emailed with at different times, and I finally got to be able to put a face with
to a
the
name,
name, which was really helpful. So the breakfasts are a great opportunity, and is that for chamber members? That's
Yes,
a
chamber members.
Opportunity. And what other opportunities are there for the chamber members? Do you guys do other stuff on a regular basis?
We do after hours. Actually, one thing I want to start is, you know, it's kind of like a Chamber 101 coffee thing, where I'll go to a different coffee shop around town, and members or non-members can come in and learn about the chamber and what we can do for them. You know, the hardest thing, there's so much that the chamber does for businesses and for people, but most people, when they join, they don't find out what all those are, or we're not communicating it well enough, or something. But there's so many things that are available for people to grow and grow their business that people don't take advantage of. So the thing I want to do is get the word out to people of all these neat things that we can do for them.
Right. Yeah. Well, I think it can be hard too as a new business owner, and you feel sort of stretched and what opportunities are what works for you. So we are really lucky to have a strong chamber in our community where those businesses sort of at any stage in their game can be a part of the chamber, connect and find that a resource that connects them with the other meetings and the other information and the other business owners in the community. So we touched on it a little bit too, but I want to be sure that I'm asking the direct question. Is what would be, so as the new executive director of the Saline Chamber, what is your vision going forward? How would you like to see things?
Well, as I said, I want to do more for the members. I want to help them, but I also want to get more heavily involved in just being visible and being at all these meetings and getting our voice heard, because to me that's a strong part of what the chamber is there for, is to make sure that the business voice is heard. I remember going way back when we started the DMA, there was really nothing else around, and Larry would go to the council meetings, and that's Larry Osterling, who's a former director. Would go to the council meetings all the time, and he would present, and he said, you know, it's important for you to go. And so I started going, and it was amazing how often we knew we'd finally arrived when they were discussing something up at the council table there, and they said, you know, we're going to have to consult with the downtown merchants to see what their viewpoint is on that. You know, we'd finally arrived. And so, you know, it is important to be seen. It is important to be out there. It's important to be involved in these things and be part of them. And that's really what I see. Our vision is to keep our community strong and growing. Work with the schools, work with the townships, work with the city.
Bring everybody together in that way. Yep. And to be able to get that strength from the different aspects of the community to businesses and the schools. Well, thanks again so much for coming in. I think it's been really great to have you here. I appreciate you sharing the information and the vision for the community. And it sounds like going out to the meetings or going out to town, we are going to be able to run into you and ask you some different questions about the chamber as well. So thanks again for coming down. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure.